Listen carefully. Wealth is not a stranger running from you. It is a force waiting for you to command it. The problem is not money. The problem is how you think about money. If you think like a beggar, it runs. If you think like an owner, it obeys. Money is energy. It responds to clarity, not confusion. Stop chasing it with desperation. Align yourself so it has no choice but to flow to you. Act as if it already belongs to you. Confidence attracts, doubt repels. Burn the chains of limiting beliefs. Poverty is rarely in your pocket. It is in your mind. Destroy the thought that wealth is for others. It is for you if you demand it. Money follows purpose. Do not wait, do not wish, do not whine. Create, serve, build, expand. The stronger your contribution, the faster money will hunt you down. Desire without action is a weak flame. Desire with relentless action becomes a magnet. Refuse scarcity. The world is overflowing with wealth, opportunities, ideas. The lie of not enough was created to keep you small. Reject it. Discipline is the hidden magnet. Wealth does not answer to chaos. Order your habits, your time, your focus. A disciplined mind is a money magnet mind. Visualize wealth until it feels real. Build it in your mind until your actions are automatic. See yourself living it, working it, commanding it, and it will materialize. Above all, persist. The weak quit when results are delayed. The strong endure. Money respects persistence because persistence proves you are worthy of trust. Think like money is chasing you because it is. Stand tall, act certain, work relentless. Wealth is not running away from you. Wealth is running toward the one who refuses to stop. See money as energy, not paper. The paper is nothing, the numbers are nothing, but the energy it carries is everything. Energy flows where attention goes, and if you treat money like it is scarce, fragile, and impossible, then it will always escape your grip. But if you treat money as abundant energy, moving constantly, waiting for direction, then you step into the seat of power. Stop begging for it, stop fearing it, stop worshiping it. Instead, command it. Align your actions, your thoughts, your decisions. So money sees you as the strongest place to flow. Act as if it already belongs to you. The wealthy don't wait for proof before they believe. They believe first and let reality catch up. Confidence attracts. Hesitation repels. When you walk into life with the certainty that wealth is your rightful companion, opportunities appear that others cannot even see. Money senses strength. Money is magnetized to clarity. Money runs from doubt. Decide that you are worthy and it will come racing. Destroy the lies you've been fed about wealth. Poverty is taught. Poverty is inherited in the mind long before it appears in the wallet. If you were raised to think money is evil, that desiring more is greed, that wealth belongs only to a chosen few, then those beliefs have poisoned your power. Burn them. Replace them with truth. Money in the hands of the right person is a weapon for freedom, growth, and creation. You have no duty to stay small. Your duty is to expand, to build, to rise, and money is the tool. Money follows purpose, never laziness. Do not sit still hoping wealth will fall on your lap. Do not drown in excuses. Do not waste your life waiting for luck. Wealth chases movement. Wealth chases contribution. Wealth chases builders. Every empire, every fortune, every legacy was built by someone who decided to act when others hesitated. You do not get paid for wishing. You get paid for producing. You get paid for solving. You get paid for daring when others hide. Desire alone is weak. Everyone desires, but few demand. Desire backed by relentless action turns into magnetism. Wanting wealth means nothing if you are not executing. Dreaming without building is self-deception. When you combine hunger with execution, the world bends. Money cannot resist the one who is willing to move mountains daily, consistently, without excuse. Refuse scarcity thinking. Scarcity is a prison built by those who surrendered. The truth is abundance, endless opportunities, endless markets, endless wealth. There is no shortage, there is only blindness. Those who think in limits will always remain small. Those who think in expansion will always break boundaries. Do not say there is not enough. Say instead, I will find more than enough. That shift alone changes how you attack life, and life pays those who attack it with boldness. Discipline is the silent magnet. Wealth respects order, not chaos. Your habits decide your income. Your daily routine is your future fortune. If you cannot discipline your time, your energy, your focus, you cannot handle wealth, and so it will avoid you. The wealthy are ruthless with their priorities, relentless with their focus, and fierce with their commitments. Success is not random, it is structured. Every dollar that comes to you is a reward for order, not for disorder. Visualize wealth until it feels real. Everything you will ever hold in your hands must first exist in your mind. The mind is the workshop of fortune. If you cannot picture yourself commanding wealth, you will sabotage every chance of holding it. Picture the life, the power, the freedom, until your mind accepts it as natural. Then your behavior aligns, your actions intensify, and money begins to chase the image you hold, and then persist. This is where the majority fail. The weak quit when they do not see results. The weak surrender when the climb feels endless. But the truth is simple. Wealth hides behind persistence. Every great fortune is guarded by delay, by resistance, by hardship, to test how much you really want it. Money respects the relentless. Money trusts the fighter who does not stop. Quitters repel wealth. Warriors attract it. So rise and think differently. Stop chasing money as if it is running from you. Think and act like money is already chasing you. Walk with certainty. Move with power. Build with intensity. Command with discipline. Persist until the walls break. Money is energy, and energy flows to the strongest conductor. Become that conductor. Stop asking. Start demanding. Stop hoping. Start building. Stop chasing. Start attracting, because wealth is not far. It is already here, waiting to flood to the one bold enough to think, act, and live as if money has no choice but to chase them. Act like wealth already belongs to you. Walk, talk, and think with the certainty of ownership. Money runs from those who beg, but it chases those who command. Stop moving like a desperate hunter chasing scraps. Move like a king who already owns the kingdom. Wealth responds to posture, to belief, to confidence. If you doubt yourself, money will doubt you. If you hesitate, opportunities will vanish. But when you carry yourself as if wealth is your natural state, the world bends in your favor. You cannot attract what you secretly believe you don't deserve. So erase the lies. Stop saying someday. Stop saying if I'm lucky. Start saying it's mine, and back those words with relentless action. The wealthy don't wait for evidence before they believe. They believe first, and evidence appears. Act before proof. Move before validation. Own the vision so fully that money cannot ignore you. Carry certainty in every step, every handshake, every decision. Think like a leader, not a follower. Speak with conviction, not fear. Money is energy. It follows strength. It follows clarity. It follows the one who already acts like it belongs to them. Act rich in discipline. Act rich in purpose. Act rich in execution. Not in foolish spending, not in empty show, but in the mindset of someone who commands resources with power and wisdom. When you start living as if wealth already sits in your hands, money will rush to catch up to the reality you've already claimed. Burn limiting beliefs. Burn them until not a single ash remains, because they are the invisible. Chains around your mind, heavier than iron, deadlier than failure itself. You were not born with limits. You were taught them. You were told to be realistic, to stay small, to be content with less, and over time those lies became your truth. But hear this clearly. Every belief that tells you wealth is not for you, success is not for you, greatness is not for you, those are not truths, those are traps. And the longer you keep them, the longer you will live beneath your potential. Limiting beliefs are poison in disguise. They whisper, not everyone can be rich. Money is evil. Success is for the lucky ones. People like you never make it. And if you accept those whispers, you live their prophecy. Wealth does not reject you. Your mind rejects wealth. Success does not run from you. You run from it when you believe the lie that you cannot have it. The strongest prisons are not built of stone, they are built of thought. That is why you must set fire to them without mercy. Understand this. Your life expands or shrinks in direct proportion to what you believe is possible. If your belief is small, your results will always remain small. If your belief is massive, your results will stretch to match it. That is why the wealthy think differently. They did not start with proof. They started with belief. They refused the limits that others accepted. They said, "Why not me?" While others said, "It's impossible." The difference was not money, not connections, not luck. It was mindset. You must confront every single limiting belief hiding in your thoughts. When you hear yourself say, "I can't," crush it with "I can" and "I will." When your mind whispers, "I don't deserve wealth," answer, "I was born to create it." When you catch yourself shrinking, stand taller and declare that you will no longer live by the rules of the weak. Burn those beliefs before they burn your future. And here is the secret. The moment you destroy a limiting belief, you unleash power. Suddenly, ideas that once felt impossible begin to look achievable. Opportunities you ignored before become visible. Actions you hesitated to take become natural. Belief shifts your entire state, and your state creates your results. That is why the battle is never outside. It is always inside. The war is not against the economy or competition or circumstance. The war is against the limits in your head. You must go further than just rejecting limiting beliefs. You must replace them with commanding beliefs. Do not just burn the old, build the new. Believe that wealth is chasing you. Believe that opportunities are everywhere. Believe that your persistence will always win. Believe that money is abundant, flowing, limitless, and waiting for you to claim it. This is not fantasy, this is programming. The mind must be trained like a weapon. Aim it at weakness, and it will destroy you. Aim it at power, and it will create empires. And when the world tries to reattach those chains, and it will, you must burn them again. Every day you will be tested. People will project their fears onto you. They will tell you to stop dreaming. They will tell you it's too risky, too unrealistic, too late. Do not absorb their limits. Their ceiling is not your ceiling. Their doubts are not your destiny. Burn their words before they root in your mind. Protect your belief like your life depends on it, because it does. Burning limiting beliefs does not mean you sit back and hope. It means you act with fire. It means you move with a new identity. It means you stop saying someday and start saying today. It means you refuse to let the lies of yesterday write the story of tomorrow. It means you step into the world as the one who is no longer chained, no longer hesitant, no longer weak. Remember this, every great fortune was once an idea that others laughed at. Every empire was once a dream people said was impossible. Every breakthrough was once a thought held by someone who refused to accept limits. The world belongs to those who burn belief chains faster than they are built. The masses live in cages they don't even see. The warriors tear the cage apart and walk free. So burn your limiting beliefs. Burn them until your mind is wide open, until your spirit is unchained, until your vision is unstoppable. Burn them until your actions explode with certainty. Burn them until money no longer feels distant but inevitable. Burn them until you no longer ask, "Can I?" but declare, "I will." Burn them until wealth itself recognizes your mind as the place it belongs. And when the fire of belief consumes the lies, you will rise, stronger, bolder, unshakable. Wealth will not resist you because wealth is not avoiding you. It is only waiting for you to break free from the limits you placed on yourself. Burn them now. Walk out of the fire reborn. Live with the mind of someone who knows nothing is impossible, because the only true limit was the one you refused to destroy. Money follows purpose, not laziness. Remember that. Money does not reward sleepwalking. It does not fall into the hands of the idle, and it does not answer the call of the weak. Money moves toward fire. It moves toward energy. It moves toward the one who carries a mission so clear that nothing can distract them. Laziness is the fastest way to guarantee poverty, because laziness produces nothing, and nothing is always what it gets in return. Purpose, however, is magnetic. When you lock yourself onto a vision, when you refuse to be shaken, money has no choice but to chase you. Every fortune you admire was not built on wishes. It was built on purpose. The men and women who created wealth did not wait for someone to hand it to them. They moved with intention. They saw a need, they saw a problem, they saw a path, and they acted. Purpose sharpened their focus, drove their discipline, and created momentum. Laziness would have left them with excuses. Purpose left them with results. The world does not pay you for being alive. It pays you for producing, for solving, for creating. Purpose fuels production. Laziness destroys it. Do not deceive yourself with soft lies. Sitting back, wishing, hoping, scrolling endlessly, waiting for miracles, none of it will make money move. Laziness is a silent killer, dressing itself up as comfort. It whispers, rest more, wait longer, tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow never improves for the lazy. Tomorrow only rewards the one who worked today. You cannot trick money into flowing your way while refusing to move. Laziness repels it. Purpose, however, is a signal to wealth. When you have a purpose, you rise differently. You approach every day with a reason to fight. You push harder when others quit. You outlast the lazy because your fuel is not comfort, it is destiny. Purpose tells money, here is where value is created. Here is where solutions are born. Here is where growth is happening. And money obeys that pull. Look at every empire, every breakthrough invention, every unstoppable business. Behind it was someone obsessed with a purpose. They were not smarter than everyone else, but they were more focused. They were not luckier, but they were more relentless. Laziness could not touch them because they were consumed by mission. They turned nights into mornings, setbacks into lessons, failures into stepping stones. Money poured toward them not because they chased it, but because they chased purpose with all their soul. Your purpose is not a soft dream. It is a command. It is the reason you get up before others, the reason you keep moving when others collapse. It is the fire that burns away excuses. The lazy mind says, I'll do it later. The purposeful mind says, I'll do it now. The lazy person says it's too hard. The purposeful person says, hard is the path to greatness. The lazy one thinks wealth is random. The purposeful one knows wealth is earned by discipline and vision. Money does not respect those who wait. It respects those who create. If your life has no direction, then money has no reason to stay with you. But when you define your mission, when you align your energy with something bigger than yourself, then money becomes a servant to that mission. It flows to fuel expansion, to reward persistence, to amplify the value you bring. And here is the truth. Purpose makes work feel like destiny. The lazy feel burdened by effort, but the purposeful are fueled by it. To them, work is not punishment, it is power. Every hour is an investment, every step a movement toward mastery. Money follows that energy because money follows momentum. Wealth knows where the fire is, and it runs there. If you want wealth, stop searching for shortcuts. Stop looking for luck. Stop waiting for chances to appear. Lock onto a purpose so strong that it pulls you out of bed with urgency, so powerful that it forces you into action, so relentless that laziness has no space in your life. Purpose destroys procrastination. Purpose eliminates weakness. Purpose keeps you moving when motivation fades. The world is drowning in lazy people waiting for miracles. That is why wealth concentrates in the hands of those who burn with mission. The masses want comfort. The few want conquest. The lazy complain. The purposeful create. The lazy waste. The purposeful build. And money has always chosen builders over dreamers. So burn laziness from your veins. Kill it before it kills your destiny. Step into your purpose. Own it. Live it. Breathe it. Work not just for survival, but for the fulfillment of your mission. Make your purpose so big that laziness cannot compete. Make it so strong that money cannot ignore it. Money follows purpose, not laziness. Choose purpose now, and money will chase you. Choose laziness, and money will vanish from your life. The decision is yours. Waste your days and remain empty, or lock onto a mission so unstoppable that wealth itself must follow. Purpose will always win. Laziness will always lose. and your future depends on which one you choose to live by today. Desire backed by action creates magnetism. Desire alone is nothing but a spark that dies in the dark if it is not fed by movement. Everyone desires, everyone wishes, everyone dreams, but the world does not pay for wishes. It pays for execution. Money does not chase those who only want. It chases those who move with burning intent. Those who turn desire into relentless action, those who make every step scream with determination. Without action, desire rots. With action, desire becomes a magnetic force that pulls opportunities, people, and wealth directly toward you. Think about it. How many people say they want to be wealthy, successful, powerful? Countless. But how many get up at dawn to build? How many push through exhaustion? How many bleed for their goals? Almost none. That is why most stay broke while a few rise to dominance. The difference is not that the few wanted it more. It is that the few acted on that want with obsession. Action turns invisible dreams into visible results. Action is the proof of desire. When desire is paired with action, the world takes you seriously. Without action, no one believes you, not even money itself. You cannot whisper to life, "I wish I was rich," while sitting idle. Life responds to force. Life rewards pressure. When you back your desire with sweat, time, discipline, and persistence, you send a signal to the universe that you are not playing games. That signal is magnetic. People are drawn to it, opportunities are drawn to it, resources are drawn to it. Desire with action is a gravitational pull. Desire without action is weak. It fools you into thinking you're moving forward when you're standing still. It gives comfort but no progress, fantasy but no fortune. And that is why so many die with dreams still in their minds. They never took the action that would have transformed the dream into reality. Understand this. Action is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. Without the bridge, your dream remains on the other side forever. Every great fortune was once a desire turned into unstoppable action. The builders of empires did not simply sit wishing. They moved. They made mistakes. They faced resistance. They were told no 1,000 times, but they acted again and again until their desire transformed into a magnetic power that attracted money, people, and breakthroughs. It was not magic. It was not luck. It was the law of desire in motion. When you desire wealth, you must prove it with action. Prove it by sacrificing your comfort. Prove it by refusing excuses. Prove it by executing daily whether you feel like it or not. Prove it by learning, improving, adapting. Prove it by staying relentless when others break. Desire backed by nothing dies. Desire backed by action cannot be denied. And here is the beauty. Once your actions become consistent, momentum builds. That momentum itself becomes magnetic. You begin to notice opportunities you never saw before. People begin to respect and support you. Money begins to flow because it sees a strong conductor, someone moving, someone alive with purpose. Movement is attractive. Stagnation is invisible. If you are not acting, you are invisible to wealth. But the moment you act, you light up like a signal tower that cannot be ignored. This magnetism is not about begging money to come. It is about becoming the person money cannot resist. You become the one with the discipline, the one with the hunger, the one with the execution. Money knows who can multiply it and who will waste it. Money follows those who prove their readiness through relentless action. Desire backed by action also crushes doubt. When you act, you gain evidence of progress. You see small wins, you see growth, and belief strengthens. That belief becomes fuel for bigger action, and the cycle grows stronger. Soon you have created a storm of energy around you that pulls everything you need closer. Doubt dies when action lives. Fear dissolves when steps are taken. Action is the cure for hesitation. Remember this, everyone starts with desire, but few will move beyond it. The crowd will talk about what they want. The warriors will work for what they want. The crowd will wait for the right time. The warriors will create the right time. The crowd will keep dreaming. The warriors will build until the dream is reality. That is why the crowd stays trapped while the warriors rise to wealth. If you want money to chase you, stop hiding behind hope. Stop repeating someday. Stop convincing yourself that desire alone will save you. Stand up and act with ferocity. Move so consistently, so powerfully, that your actions scream louder than your words. Let your effort declare your desire. Let your execution prove your hunger. Desire backed by action creates magnetism so strong it bends reality. It pulls the resources you need, the allies you need, the wealth you need, straight into your path. But it only comes to the one who dares to move. Desire is the fire. Action is the fuel. Together they create the unstoppable engine that drags success to your feet. So take your desire and ignite it with action now. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't drown in hesitation. Move and keep moving until the world itself cannot resist you. Because money does not answer the call of dreamers, it answers the call of doers. Desire plus action is the law. And when you obey that law, magnetism begins and wealth becomes inevitable. Refuse scarcity thinking. Reject it with every breath, because scarcity is the greatest lie ever sold to humanity. Scarcity whispers that there is not enough, that wealth is limited, that opportunity is rare, and that success belongs to a chosen few. Scarcity thinking is the invisible prison that keeps billions trapped in small lives. But the truth is different. Abundance surrounds you. Money is flowing in every direction. Opportunities are being created every second. Fortunes are being built every day. Scarcity only exists in the mind of the person who accepts it, and if you accept it, you will live in chains even in a world overflowing with wealth. Scarcity teaches fear. It makes people hold back, play small, hoard pennies while missing millions. It tricks them into believing that if someone else wins, they must lose. That mindset poisons creativity, kills ambition, and strangles courage. Scarcity thinking produces weak decisions because it makes you act from desperation. You take less because you fear there isn't more. You settle for crumbs because you fear the table has no more bread. And in the end, scarcity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe there is not enough, so you never see enough. Abundance, however, opens the gates. When you refuse scarcity, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. You stop fearing competition because you realize the marketplace is infinite. You stop holding back your talents because you understand the more you give, the more you attract. Abundance thinking creates boldness, and boldness creates wealth. Money flows to the bold, not the fearful. The truth is this: the world has always been abundant. Ideas never run out. Energy never stops moving. Wealth is created, not distributed like a pie. When one person becomes rich, it does not steal from another. It proves what is possible for the next. Scarcity wants you to believe in fixed limits, but abundance knows limits exist only in your mind. Scarcity is inherited. It comes from parents who were taught to fear money, from societies that taught you to be realistic, from schools that prepared you for survival instead of greatness. But just because it was given to you does not mean you must keep it. You have the power to burn scarcity thinking and step into abundance. You do this by changing your words, your thoughts, your actions. Stop saying, "I can't afford this," and start asking, "How can I afford this?" Stop saying there aren't enough opportunities and start asking, "Where will I create one?" Scarcity closes doors. Abundance kicks them open. Look at every wealthy person you admire. They refused scarcity. While others complained about lack, they built. While others fought over scraps, they created entire industries. They didn't ask, "Is there enough for me?" They declared, "I will create more than enough for myself and others." That is the power of rejecting scarcity. It makes you a creator, not a beggar. Scarcity weakens your spirit. It tells you to cling to what you have, never to risk, never to invest, never to expand. But clinging is death. The water that does not flow becomes stagnant. The mind that does not grow becomes weak. The life that does not move becomes empty. Refusing scarcity means refusing to shrink, refusing to fear loss, refusing to think small. It means daring to invest in yourself, daring to expand your vision, daring to play in a bigger arena. Abundance thinking turns fear into fuel. It makes you see that every setback is not the end, but a seed. It makes you see that wealth is not luck, but alignment. It makes you unstoppable because you stop asking if there's enough and start demanding more from yourself. Scarcity says, save your energy. Abundance says, pour your energy, and it will return multiplied. Scarcity says, protect what little you have. Abundance says, expand until there is no limit. And here is the key. Scarcity is comfortable. Abundance is demanding. Scarcity gives excuses. Abundance requires action. Scarcity allows you to blame others. Abundance forces you to take responsibility. Scarcity locks you in fear. Abundance frees you in power. That is why so many remain stuck. They choose the comfort of scarcity over the challenge of abundance. But comfort never built empires. Refuse scarcity and your decisions change. You invest boldly. You work with intensity. You create instead of wait. You collaborate instead of compete. You understand that wealth is not taken. It is attracted, produced, multiplied. You no longer live in fear of losing because you know more is always coming. That state of mind is magnetic, and money cannot resist it. Scarcity thinking is death before death. It buries people while they are still breathing. But abundance thinking is life. It creates expansion, it creates freedom, it creates wealth that flows beyond you. Refuse scarcity, reject the lie. Stop letting it guide your choices, your words, your life. There is no shortage, there is only blindness. If you open your eyes with abundance, you will see rivers of wealth waiting to be tapped. If you refuse scarcity, you will stop chasing and start attracting. If you burn the chains of not enough, you will walk into the truth of always more. So rise now and reject the scarcity mindset. Do not think small. Do not live fearful. Do not settle. Think abundant, act abundant, and wealth will follow. Refuse scarcity thinking, because the one who clings to limits will always stay limited, but the one who claims abundance will live without boundaries. The choice is yours. Die in scarcity or rise in abundance. Discipline is the silent magnet. It does not shout, it does not boast, but it pulls wealth, success, and power toward the one who masters it. Discipline is the invisible force behind every empire, the quiet strength behind. Every fortune, the reason the world bends to some and ignores the rest. Talent without discipline collapses. Ambition without discipline burns out. Desire without discipline remains fantasy. Discipline is the bridge between intention and reality, and without it, nothing you dream will ever materialize. Discipline means doing what must be done, especially when you do not feel like doing it. The lazy wait for motivation, but the disciplined act regardless. That is why wealth trusts the discipline they can be relied on. They will show up every day, sharpen their craft, execute their plans, stay consistent when others get distracted. Money runs from chaos, it flows to order, and discipline is the creator of order. Think of the greatest builders of wealth. They did not stumble into fortune, they forged it through daily discipline. Waking early when others slept, studying when others wasted time, building when others only talked, acting when others hesitated. Discipline separated them from the masses. It created momentum. It carved out habits so powerful that results became inevitable. Success is never an accident. It is the direct reward of discipline repeated over years. Discipline is sacrifice. It demands that you give up comfort, distraction, and weakness in exchange for strength, growth, and results. The undisciplined crave instant pleasure. The disciplined crave lasting freedom. One wastes today for temporary enjoyment. The other invests today for permanent wealth. That is why discipline looks hard at first but pays forever, while laziness looks easy at first but costs forever. Every time you obey discipline, you build a magnet inside yourself. That magnet grows stronger with every consistent action. Wake up early, you strengthen it. Stick to your work when tired, you strengthen it. Control your habits, your spending, your focus, you strengthen it. Soon the magnet pulls results toward you. Opportunities notice you. People respect you. Money trusts you. Success bends to you. all because you mastered the silent magnet. Without discipline, even the best opportunities slip away. Wealth avoids those who cannot control themselves because they will destroy it. If you cannot discipline your time, you will waste it. If you cannot discipline your mind, you will drown in distractions. If you cannot discipline your habits, you will sabotage your future. Wealth requires guardians, not gamblers. Discipline makes you a guardian. Discipline is not glamorous. It is not dramatic. It is quiet, repetitive, sometimes boring. But inside that repetition lies power. Every small disciplined act compounds into greatness. Missing one day feels harmless, but missing one day becomes a habit. The disciplined refuse excuses. They refuse to break their chain. They understand that discipline is not an option. It is survival. Discipline is freedom disguised as restriction. At first it feels like chains, waking up on time, saying no to distractions, controlling impulses. But those chains forge freedom, the freedom of wealth, of choice, of power. The undisciplined think they are free, but they are slaves, slaves to comfort, slaves to emotion, slaves to weakness. Discipline looks like suffering, but it is the path to liberation. Look at your life. Every result you have is a reflection of your discipline. If your body is weak, it is lack of discipline. If your bank account is empty, it is lack of discipline. If your goals remain dreams, it is lack of discipline. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop blaming luck. Stop blaming others. Your discipline decides your destiny. And here is the secret: discipline compounds like interest. The longer you practice it, the stronger it becomes, and the more unstoppable you grow. At first it feels hard, but over time it becomes automatic. Habits are formed, focus sharpens, momentum builds. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency creates wealth. The undisciplined chase motivation. They wait for the perfect moment. They hope for inspiration. The disciplined don't wait, they move. They know that action creates motivation, not the other way around. They know that momentum is born in the doing. They know that waiting is weakness. That is why they win. Discipline is the test that wealth gives before it arrives. If you cannot master yourself, you cannot master money. If you cannot handle small habits, you cannot handle big opportunities. If you cannot stay consistent without reward, you cannot stay consistent when wealth arrives. The disciplined prove they are ready long before the reward comes. So make discipline your weapon. Wake up and control your time. Cut off distractions. Build routines that harden you into steel. Train your body, train your mind, train your focus.